The entertainment choice at King's College Budo was always clear. On a Saturday evening, or even on a Sunday evening, you either went to the main hall or you went to chapel, contact, on a Sunday. Now, for many of us, and I'd imagine actually the majority of us, decided to take the main hall route. But having said that, whether you went for the main hall route or the chapel route, the experiences that we had then taught us quite a lot on how to be able to relate to people from opposite sex, how to relate in social situations, and how to actually anticipate pitfalls and things like that. When we joined in 1986, my class, when we joined in 1986, those were the days when there was quite a lot of, the scare was quite prevalent of AIDS. And of course, anybody trying to have a relationship with somebody of the opposite sex, it was quite frowned upon. And of course, in those days, those were the days when we had the late Mr. Bawuba. Mr. Bawuba came to King's College Budo with quite a huge entourage of people who we know as saved Obaba Zukfu. And the way that the school then was thought was going to take, or the route that people thought the school was going to take, was something akin to a school becoming quite puritanical. As it turns out, actually, surprisingly, when I look back on it now, and it's actually within my work today, Mr. Bawuba, the late Mr. Bawuba, turned out to be actually quite somebody who was very liberal, and things were allowed to be done, and people were allowed to actually interact and learn how to deal with members of the opposite sex. Now, having said that, that kind of interaction, that kind of learning that we had in those days, I think in this present day, wherever any one of us is in the world, in the USA, Uganda, personally, presently in Stoke-on-Trent in the United Kingdom, we have learned how to deal with social situations. And I find that people from King's College Budo and other schools within Uganda, which are co-education, that's a word that I quite not understand up to this day, there's a kind of confidence that we do have when we're dealing with people of a different sexes. So it was always quite interesting in those days, the politics of it all, when people had to either go to the main hall or go to chapel, and thereafter escort people down, escort girlfriends or friends down to Basseterre Road. It was ever exciting. It was quite interesting when one looks back on it now, how people learnt life. And these are things that King's College Budo actually taught all of us, rather than, apart from what we learnt in class, at the biology class or physics or mathematics or whatever, or the football pitch. These are things that actually King's College Budo taught us. And I think that we should be actually grateful that that great school not only taught us how to deal with the academic side of life, but the kind of social side to life, where we're actually allowed to make mistakes in a controlled environment.